Welcome back. It's time for the most detailed, in-depth review of the Honda SH150i from the entire internet. You're not gonna find such a detailed video of this scooter on the internet, so stick around until the end. I purchased this scooter a couple of weeks ago and I already done 4,600 kilometers so far, so I have quite a lot of things to give you as a feedback because I've tested this scooter in an extreme environment, riding in the city for deliveries almost daily, and I'm able to give you a proper exploitment feedback because I've exploited this scooter quite a lot in a short amount of kilometers, 4,600, and it's time to start. First of all, let's take a look first on the design of the scooter. We're gonna start anyway from the front to the rear. As you are already used from my previous reviews from the Honda Vision and from the Honda SH125 mode, this one is my third scooter, and I have to say that this is actually the best I've owned so far. And there are a couple of things which I would like to discuss. We're gonna start with a general design which is much more modern than the previous scooters, like the previous Honda Vision or even the SH125 mode. This one has a pretty modern front. This time it's blue. The previous they were red, but this is a matte blue. This is the color. There are not so many color options in terms of scooters lately. White, gray and blue. There is no red option this season for the SH150i. So we're gonna start from the front side to the rear. We're gonna detail everything. We're gonna make a test ride. We're gonna compare even some accessories which I've received from my sponsors. One of my sponsors, it's Isotta. They are provided me with the windscreens, also for the SH150i, but also for my Honda Transalp 750. Now we're speaking about the SH150i. We're gonna start actually to admire it, and of course we're gonna detail each single feature of this scooter. It's better to take it step by step. I just don't want to just to tell you the specs and that's it. We're gonna detail each single spec. We're gonna compare it. We're gonna see actually what this scooter brings as a benefit, as a plus in comparison with some other scooters or some with the previous versions. Let's start with the front fairing, which it's not so long. It's not so long, especially on the rear side. As you can see, it's pretty short over here, and somehow it's throwing the mud or the rain on this protection shield from the rear. This, I must say, it's also a benefit if you are trying to put an off-road wheel or maybe more of an aggressive tire. You have plenty of space over here. It looks actually like an enduro fender so to speak. You have plenty of space underneath. It also has somehow a pseudo suspension mud protection from coming up from this wider side, you can see, and it protects a little bit the suspension from mud, from dirt. It acts like a slightly protection for this part. It's not so efficient as it was for the Honda SH125 mode or even for the Honda Vision. But this one, as you can see, it's shorter, it's a little bit wider. We're speaking about the front discs, which are provided here with the 2-piston caliper. This is the front brake. It's with the ABS. So this scooter, as you can see, has ABS on the front, ABS on the rear, but we're getting to the rear later. What I really like is that finally some proper tires for this scooter, for this value of this scooter, which was actually not so cheap. We have Michelin tires. This is Michelin City Grip tubeless tire made in Serbia this time. And we're speaking about a 16-inch 180 front wheel with ABS and Michelin tires, which are quite amazing. In the city, outside the city, you can see the pattern of these tires. They are very good on the rain. I think it's one of the best tires this scooter could have. It's pretty good. The front suspension, yeah, it's quite basic. At the beginning you will notice that it's a little bit stiffer. You will see that it takes the bumps quite tough, quite hard, but after, let's say, 1000 kilometers the suspension really settles up, and you can expect a comfortable ride after that. But be aware that at the beginning you're gonna have a stiffer suspension, a stiffer front suspension. We are having LED light. Actually, this bike has full LED lights. Let's start the lights and check them out. Okay, it's now it's during the day, but I must say that I was really impressed about the lights from my previous SH125 mode. The lights from the SH150i, they are not so impressive, although they are pretty decent during the night. And I have to say, you see the lights are splitted. You have a continuous lighting on the bottom here. On this bottom you have the low beam. This is the low beam and the high beam. You can check it out. The lights are not so impressive as they were on my previous SH mode. They were pretty impressive. This one, they are quite good. Like a tip I have to give you, this one actually it's continuous. This upper light, it's continuous. I would like to give you quite an important tip, is to adjust the headlight beam. You can adjust it. There is a screw here, similar with the ones from the Transalp, here on the right side. You can adjust it pretty easy. You can see, I don't know if you can see it, but it's just on the bottom on the right side of the scooter when I'm indicated here, and you can adjust the light beam in order to put it up or down. This is most of the scooters, some of the scooters, because I know some owners of this type of scooter, they encounter some issues with the headlight, which which was lightning too up. It was too up, and they needed to put it down for a bit, and that's the place where you do it quite easily. This scooter comes standard with this gigantic windscreen. Check it out. It's time to speak a little bit about this screen, because it's something which I haven't encountered until now at a scooter or at a motorcycle. So we need to speak about this windscreen right away. It's quite gigantic. I mean, its size, it's really impressive. It covers basically everything. It covers your helmet. I'm 1.8 meters height, so I will say I have the perfect height for this type of screen. The taller persons, they might be annoyed because this screen has this silicone protection here on the margins, on the sides, and this is very good because somehow it prevents it prevents some accidents, or it keeps better in place the screen. But in some cases it blocks the visibility. If you're a little bit over 1.8 meters height, you might be annoyed that this silicone line will intervene in your vision, in your visibility, and it will be just on the middle of the road. So you're gonna have this invisible silicone line on the middle of the road, and you might be annoyed about it. Otherwise, this is very well established in these brackets, which are attached directly to the frame. So these are metal brackets which are keeping the windscreen in place. These are connected to the frame and they are very strong. I mean, there are no vibrations to the screen whatsoever. It's very stable, and it has this rubber which protects the vibration, which protects against the vibrations. It's very stable and it offers an amazing wind protection. I must say, the best wind protection which you can get, it's with this windscreen. I have received from my sponsor Isotta 2 windscreens which we're gonna test. A smaller one, which is a smoked one, a similar one with the one from the Honda Transalp 750, and a bigger one. I saw it, I just made the unboxing. Let's see the unboxing with the windscreens received from Isotta, and then we're gonna come back. We're gonna test the Isotta windscreens either in this video or in a separate video. I'm gonna decide how we're gonna do it. Until then, we have this standard windscreen, which I have to repeat, it offers an amazing protection. Some of you might be annoyed about this silicone margin, but yeah, I must say that the benefits which this windscreen is offering are much more important, or are overpassing this a little bit inconvenient regarding the visibility with the silicone margin, the silicone protection. And another disadvantage is that this type of windscreen will get dirty very fast. I mean, if you're riding a couple of minutes in the rain, or if you're riding on a wet surface, you're gonna get dirty very fast. Or if you're riding outside the city, a lot of flies will get into the screen and will block anyway the perfect visibility which you have when the windscreen is perfectly clean. Another thing which comes standard on this bike are these wind protectors, hand wind protectors, or let's say let's call them wind deflectors. These wind deflectors are coming standard, and you can see they are matching perfectly with the screen. Very big plus for these parts which are coming as a standard on this bike. Now we're getting closer to the dashboard. But until the dashboard, let's check out a little bit this part. Here we have a place to hang some bags. This is the system used to hang these bags. You can you know, you have this system, it closes up, and you can put safely here a bag secured. And this is the place where you're gonna open the reservoir here to refuel. Of course, this is the spot. Check it out. All right, here we open, and it's pretty nice. Here we have the reservoir, which is underneath your legs, and somehow could be that the fuel pump, which created a lot of problems to the Honda Vision, the fuel pump should be also in this position. Hopefully we're not gonna have any more issues with the fuel pump. Now the fuel pump should be positioned in this area, away from the direct sun, and hopefully it will chill out much better in this position than here where it was placed on the previous models. So here hopefully we have the fuel pump protected from the heat, and yeah, let's pray for a much more resistant fuel pump. The mirrors are very similar to the ones from the motorcycle. Even they are similar with the ones from my Honda Transalp. Classic motorcycle mirrors. They have this rubber protection here, which is pretty good. It's pretty wide, and it prevents the water to get inside here and prevents the rust. The mirrors are offering very good visibility, the same as the ones from the motorcycle. They are pretty good, and I was able to attach the quad lock from the mirrors. This is one solution for keeping your phone. The other solution is to have a GPS mount directly between the brackets of the windscreen holder. So this is the second solution. You can order from eBay or AliExpress. It costs about 20 euros, and you can have a GPS mount, actually a bar connected to this bracket, and you have a GPS mount and the phone in a better area for visibility. Let's see the commands. We have here the commands display left and right. What I like as a detail is this plastic is here in the area where you work quite a lot, and you don't risk to scratch or to damage the painted parts, as it was on the Honda SH125 mode. Also for the SH150i, in this area you're working quite a lot with your hand with the commands, and you don't need the painted areas in order to scratch them, because you're working in this area, and this area is somehow protected by a better resistant plastic, high friction resistant plastic, so to speak, and you are able to protect better the paint, which, by the way, it looks you know, this matte blue, this matte paint, this is not shiny anymore. It looks quite nice on the light. Maybe if you see it on the pictures don't reflect the actual color, but when you see it on the light, on the sunlight, it looks very, very nice, especially after you wash the bike. We have quite a nice paint, but you can see a lot of the stains coming up from the oil, from the water. The stains are more visible on this type of paint. You can check it out. Some stains, some dust is more visible on this type of paint, on this matte paint, but yeah, this is not a big issue. I'm gonna use anyway the bike for deliveries. It will get dirty anyway, so yeah, this is it. It's not you know, it's not a decoration scooter. It's a scooter which I'm gonna use intensively on the deliveries, so I don't care so much about some of the stains from the paint from time to time. Let's get to the dashboard. On the right we have the start and stop button, which is similar as the previous models. It stops after 3 seconds, and then when you press the acceleration it will start again. This doesn't make such a big fuel consumption difference. It's just to comply with the Euro 5 regulations in terms of air pollution. But in terms of fuel consumption, you could get 0.1 less fuel, 0.1 liters less per 100 kilometers if you're using this system. So it's not a big deal. Anyway, this is the ignition button, and here on the bottom side and here on the right side we have the other buttons, which give us access to the seat, underneath the seat, to open the fuel for refueling. And here we can actually close the bike, put the bike in neutral. We have a point where we can choose to push the bike, then we choose to put this to the push, and on the right we can lock it. So it's similar with the other bikes. You need to press it before you rotate it, and you need to have the keyless. You know, this is a keyless scooter. This is how the key is looking like. Much better, I would say, than the previous ones. You need to, you know, if you take off the protection plastic, it's very exposed to scratching. So if you would like to protect this part, this shiny part, I recommend that you either keep the plastic or find another protection for this one. You can close it, you can activate it, couple of options here, and this is the key for the top case. We're gonna get to the top case a little bit later. As you know, most of the scooters are pretty difficult to work with when you need to replace a part or something. You need to take over these fenders. Taking out the fenders, the scooter fenders, it's really a pain. Doesn't matter you're going to the service or you're doing by yourself. You saw on my previous maintenance procedures at the scooters, it's quite difficult to replace something, to take down or replace a part, the plastic. Working with these plastics it's very annoying, and lately the quality of the plastics it's becoming worse and worse, and you know, it's quite difficult. At this scooter, let's check it out. Here we have one screw which is visible here. We have a little bit more visible bolts or screws in order to give access to some of the parts. One here, one here, one here which is visible, and this seems a little bit easier to work with. Anyway, it will be a real pain working with the plastics on this type of scooter. You're gonna make some maintenance by yourself, but usually when you have something to change, it's becoming a pain. Let's start the bike and check out for a bit the display. I don't know how you are able to see due to the sun which is reflecting. Let's try one more time. Maybe you are able to see something actually. So we have plenty of information displayed. We have info A, info B, and this is it. We're gonna work with these ones. So we have the total amount of kilometers displayed, which is 4,641 until now. We have the battery voltage information. This we can check it out. The fuel gauge indicator, signals, traction control, start and stop. We have an alert from the fuel pump, an alert from the temperature coolant for the coolant temperature, and we can change. We have the range. Now it's 125 kilometers. We have the instant fuel consumption, and on the bottom we have a second display which shows us trip A, trip B, the fuel consumption for each trip, and we have the Honda selectable torque control, which is, by the way, you can put it on and off. Check it out. I'm continuously pressing on the info B, and we now have the Honda selectable torque control off, which is very good. You can actually deactivate the traction control for this scooter, which is very good. It will automatically activate whenever you're gonna start the bike again. And when you put it off, you can see on the display, it appears on the right side, on the top right side, traction control off. And this is very nice. I mean, if you're trying to make some off-road, or if you're trying to climb a hill and you need traction, this is the solution. You can deactivate and activate the traction control. Let's put it on, leave it to the trip B, and close it. This is the horn. Let's hear it for a bit. I think it's pretty good. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. The signals very good. They indicate left and right. You can see whether you're signaling left or right. which is very good. It doesn't have a hazard light. Hazard light is missing. I would love to have also the hazard light, but another contact ignition wire needed to be placed by Honda, so Honda chose to not to put it. But anyway, we have left and right signal visible, which is very good. To start the bike, you need to press the left brake, which is the front brake. The left brake, it's the front brake, and the rear brake, it's the right brake. So you need to press the left brake and then push the ignition button. And the bike just started. We're gonna start it one more time just to check out the sound. Now let's move forward. Let's speak a bit about the space underneath the legs. Underneath your legs you have space, but not as much as I've expected. Also the bike, it's wider, but not so wide. It doesn't protect from the wind so good as the Honda mode. It's a little bit narrower, so to speak. It's wider than the Vision, but narrower than the SH mode. You have a lot of space here, but you know, it could have been better. It could have been better. I would prefer to have more space here, but anyway, the space which I needed, it's on the left and right. I think it's too narrow, this resting pad, and it would have been better to be wider, but it is what it is at the moment. Let's get to the seat, because here is a big issue. I mean, this seat, it's very uncomfortable. At the beginning I was pleased about him for couple of kilometers when I purchased the bike, just a few kilometers after I purchased the bike. But during my deliveries, when I make about 11 hours per day, 12 hours per day riding, this seat it's becoming more and more uncomfortable because of its shape. You cannot move back or forward, and you slide quite a lot. This fabric doesn't have any grip, and it's sliding quite a lot, and it pushes you in the front side, which is very narrow and very uncomfortable. In terms of pillion seat, of this pillion part, I was riding with a pillion with my friend Johnny, which is 125 kilos and almost 2 meters height, and he was very comfortable on this pillion part of the seat. So I would say this part is perfect, very comfortable. You have also a backrest on the top case, which is very big and quite comfortable. But in terms of the rider, it's having a very uncomfortable seat. So perhaps the guys from Oficina delle Toppe will agree to custom made and comfort made this seat for me. Who knows? I will send them a message, and perhaps they will willing to make my seat more comfortable. It's one of the most uncomfortable seats from all the scooters I've been ridden, starting from the Honda Vision and then the SH mode. This one, it's very, very uncomfortable. Let's check out under the seat what's hiding. Alright, so this is the space under the seat, which is very good, and the good thing is that it's split in two parts. We have the upper part, which is not so hot, because usually when you put things here and you ride for a long time, this part from the engine becomes very hot, and either you put water or you put anything, it will melt at the end. So you have this chiller part on the right side, this storage space. It's split in two separate ones, and this one from the rear, it's pretty good, pretty comfortable, and you have a lot of space here. Here we can even put a open face helmet, or maybe a full face helmet on a different shape, maybe a smaller one. You have this toolkit, which is provided for this Honda SH150i. So we have 7 liters petrol tank. We're gonna get to the fuel consumption also to make an idea about the range. And let's mention inside here you have a USB charger, which is positioned here on the right side. USB charger, 1.5 amperes, 1.2, let's read. Oh, 2.1 ampere. Nice. So you can hopefully charge it with a fast charger, so it's quite good. This bike, it's made in Italy. Check out here, Honda Motor Europe Limited, made in Italy. This is one of the most appreciated scooters in Italy, one of the better sold, you know. And yeah, scooter made in Europe, this SH150i made in Italy. People were complaining that this type of scooter is made in Asia, but this one, it's made in Italy. We have the confirmation. All right, the seat. And now let's get to the comfort parts. These are the foot pegs from the pillion, quite wide. These are plastics, but it's a hard plastic. And yeah, this is the sound which you have. All right, these are the foot pegs for the pillion. Let's get to the rear part. Let's start with the bottom. We have quite a wider tire on the rear. This is a 16-inch 120/80 tire, also a Michelin City Grip. And this is a wider tire, and you can feel it. You have a lot of stability, you have a lot of braking power, you have quite a lot of grip. You feel like you're riding a motorcycle and you're making the turns, the twisties as an actual motorcycle because of the wheel size. 16-inch 120/80 with a 16-inch for the front, which is 180. Pretty big tires. You have plenty of options in terms of tires. You start with the Michelin City Grip, and there is an unlimited possibility. There are unlimited possibilities in terms of tire change and tire choice. Very nice that it has a double shock absorber, double rear shocks, which are adjustable. At the beginning, they were at 0.2 out of 5 or 2 out of 7. Let's check it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. I think 5 is maximum, so I put them to the minimum. This is the minimum, the softer I could put them, but still they are not what I've expected in terms of comfort, in combination with the seat, which is totally uncomfortable. The rear shocks, either, I don't know, they are quite good, and it's very good that they are double shocks and they are adjustable, yes, but they are not so comfortable as I would have expected from a double shock. So in the next days I'm gonna change them with a gas shocks, a performance gas shocks, and I'm gonna make a separate video. I'm gonna upgrade the rear shocks very soon. Tomorrow actually I'm gonna film everything and I'm gonna present it in a separate video. So for now I'm using these ones, which are not so good in my opinion. After 4,600 kilometers I'm gonna replace them. This bike has an ABS for the rear and traction control. So we're having ABS front and rear, traction control. We have double shocks, adjustable double shocks, and in addition we have a disc brake on the rear, a single piston caliper and a disc brake, which increases quite a lot the brake efficiency. I must say I will never ever buy another scooter which doesn't have double discs, ABS, traction control, full LED, because these I think are the basics for a scooter which you are using on a city. I think these these are the basics. Starting from 2024, I will never ever buy a scooter without this upgrades, because I've ridden without, and I have to say, in many situations, I even crashed one time. I was put it in many situations on the winter, because I'm riding winter, rainy days and so on, and I need all these safety measures, especially on these scooters. And this scooter is quite powerful. It has almost 17 horsepower and quite a lot of torque when I compare with my previous bikes, with my previous scooters. So it actually needs this type of safety. Take in consideration your scooter choice, and in my opinion, check whether it has ABS traction control, double disc brakes, full LED, because these are the basics at a 2024 scooter. And in my opinion, you should not choose a scooter without these features for your own safety, especially if you're using this scooter quite for some time in the city traffic, or you're working with it, because I'm using as a tool for my deliveries. Let's get to the other feature, which comes as standard, the top case. The top case comes together with the windscreen and with the wind deflectors as a package. This top case, I think it has about 30 liters. You have to use the key. It would have been nice to have a keyless top case, because whenever you're using the top case, you need to take out the key. It's a keyless scooter, and I need to take out the key to open this top case. It would have been nice to be able to have this top case also keyless, or at least I'm open it. You know, I don't even have the option to leave it open. By the way, it fits my helmet inside, but I need to take out this sun visor, this sun protection, the upper one. I need to take it out, but you can see my full face helmet fits inside, which is quite good. I can fit 3 pizzas, medium 3 pizzas, or even 4 pizzas. I was able to fit inside a big bag with the shopping. I can fit it in. It has a shape which allows also the upper bags to fit in, and also the upper helmets, the wider helmets, the bigger helmets are fitting inside, so you don't have to worry. It has also a system when you need to catch this, you know, it has this you know, this part which this part it's catching the other part, which is plastic, and eventually you can close it. So you need to master it a little bit at the beginning. It works like a hook, you know, it grabs the upper part, and then you can close it, and you don't have the option to just take out the key and leave the damn top case open. No, you need to close it, otherwise you cannot take out the key. Yes, what you can do is leave it open, turn the key as you close it, take out the key and try to close it, but it will not close completely. You know, it stays. This is a solution to leave it open, you know, in order not to use too oftenly the key, and just partially lock it, and then you have the top case somehow locked, not full, but partially locked, without being able to use all the time the key. Now this is a little bit annoying. Then you need to open it, you know, make the same procedures, close it, and that's it. Pluses and minuses: the quality of the top case, it's so and so. It's very light, but seems to be a little bit flexible. It's very flexible, and it's comfortable for the pillion with this backrest. Otherwise, it has this rack which it's holding. It's very useful on grabbing the bike, very useful on grabbing the bike for parking, for moving the bike. Yes, it's useful. The design of the top case is very nice, I must say. This is a top case which looks very good, and it has a perfect aerodynamic shape. I don't see any wobbling at high speeds with this top case. So for the previous one, for the SH150 59X, I had quite some wobbling on my previous scooters because it was very wide, but this one fits perfectly. It's from the bike. It was tested from for its aerodynamics, and it's very pleasant to ride with. I really like it. In terms of design, okay, it's not the best quality which you can expect. You can find better options maybe for other aftermarket top cases, but yeah, you need to take care because you see the plastics over here, they look very cheap, and yeah, you need to be careful a little bit with this one. Let's get to the design of the exhaust. I really like it. It has this plastic cover, and this you know, this is also plastic. No, it is kind of aluminum decoration fender for this exhaust protection, but I think it looks very nice. It gives a premium feeling for this bike. This bike, it's of course air cooled. Here is the radiator. Everything looks very nice in this area, and looks premium. Starting from the exhaust, from the fenders, everything looks very good in terms of design, in terms of functionality. Yes, I really like this exhaust, and we're gonna check out the sound. So this was the sound of the bike. Pretty good, especially after you're riding more and more on the hot summer days. You get even a better sound on the highway. We're gonna check it out perhaps later. Let's continue with the rear part. The brake, it's pretty visible. Let's open it, let's start it. This is the visibility which you get during the day. It's pretty good. Let's check out the signals. This is the signal visibility, which is very good during the day, during the night. Pretty good visibility. I saw that the drivers, they see me quite good. I think the headlight is very efficient in terms of visibility. Some might say that this lower position of the headlight could impact the driver's visibility or the visibility in traffic, but actually it's pretty good. I have no issues. The cars were able to see me. Some are using the high beam even on the daylight for even better visibility, but anyway, I think it's enough what this bike provides. Let's check out the signals for the front side. I deliberately show you during the day because I think we're gonna ride this scooter mostly during the day, and we need visibility during the day. During the night it's of course better, but what it's important is during the day how you are visible. So check it out. This is the full LED lighting, so I think it makes a good difference. Let's check out. Yeah, I think this is also LED. This bike should have a full LED light. Also the signals, they should be LED. I don't want to be mistaken, but when we're judging from the visibility, I think they're LED. We will make a city test ride right away, but before, I would like to change the windscreen. We're gonna put the Isotta lower windscreen. With this one, I already tested. It's very good, even at very high speeds. We're gonna speak about now, before that, about the fuel consumption, about the wind protection on a highway, and I'm gonna speak from any rider perspective, from a casual rider and from a rider which is exploiting the scooter. Let's get to the fuel consumption now. The reality is that this scooter can be a very efficient in terms of fuel consumption, but it matters quite a lot what is your riding style. My riding style is very aggressive. I push this scooter to the limit, and since the moment I've purchased it, I have a real fuel consumption of 2.8. This is the maximum fuel consumption which you get if you're riding in the city or as a mixed riding, but an aggressive one. I was riding very gentle. I was riding very chill with 75 80 kilometers per hour, and you were able to have 2.1, 2.2, that's for sure. My friend also uses this scooter for deliveries. He's using the bike for 7,000 kilometers already, and you can expect 2.1, 2.2, even 2.3, let's say, if you're riding as a casual rider, as a normal user. So in terms of fuel consumption, let's say from 2.1 up to 2.8, depending on your riding style. If you're riding on a highway with a full throttle and with maximum speed, you can expect about 3.9. This is the maximum, or maybe 4, but it drops right away to 3.8, 3.9. But you're gonna ride at full throttle and you will have a 3.9, maximum 4, let's say 3.9 fuel consumption if you're riding maximum full throttle on a highway. In terms of maximum speed, I've already tested the maximum speed, but this will be a separate video because I would like to explain the conditions and in what environment you're gonna reach a certain speed, and when exactly the bike it's limited, where it's actually the bike's limit in terms of maximum speed, because this bike has already, or I've tested to its maximum speed, and the bike has a limiter, a rev limiter, which reaches you're gonna encounter that rev limiter at a certain speed, and I was able to reach that speed. I'm gonna do the test one more time and present you this maximum speed test in another video. I like this detail from the center stand, this rubber which is mounted here to prevent the vibrations of the spring vibrations. In terms of maintenance, you need to change the oil each 6,000 kilometers, first at 1,000, then from 6,000 to 6,000. The belt from 24,000, the air filter, that's depending what type of riding do you have, but usually at 15,000, something like that. And yeah, the clutch should last pretty long accordingly to your exploitment, maybe 50,000, 60,000 or less. I don't know what is your riding style. If you push it too much since the start, if you're accelerating from the headlight pretty aggressive, more and more, and for longer kilometers, you're gonna have less kilometers or less reliability on the clutch, but usually should last at least 50,000 kilometers. You know, it's not a big issue. So this is the bike in terms of overview. We're gonna go and make a city ride. Before that, we will put the Isotta windscreen. Let's check it one more time. I have it here. I've kept it here. This is the Isotta windscreen. This is the lower version because we have a higher version, a bigger version. I saw the bigger version and actually it's bigger than this one. So I'm very curious to see the comparison, because we're gonna notice here on this scooter the differences are pretty high in terms of dimensions. Now let's compare this lower one. So this is the lower version from Isotta. Isotta has provided me quite some nice accessories for my Honda Transalp, 2 windscreens and a GPS mount, and now they were very nice, and they sent me 2 windscreens for my new SH150i. Check out the differences. This is the standard one, and this is the one provided from Isotta, the shorter one. Check out the difference for the ones which are willing to have more visibility, and for the ones which are annoyed by that silicone band, by the silicone line on the side of the windscreen of the standard one. Check out the Isotta. The Isotta fits perfectly here, and check out the difference. You can check it out. It's quite important. And here on the middle, I like that they have this gap for better visibility from the center, directly from the center, and it somehow respects the shape of the brackets, and offer visibility on the mid side. I really like the shape. We're gonna put the big one also, don't worry about that. But first, in terms of logistics, in terms of transportation, I need to take out the big one, carry it with me, and test, leave it home and test the short one. We're gonna make the city ride testing for better visibility with the new provided windscreen from Isotta. You can check out the link in the description if you would like to purchase this beautiful windscreen from Isotta. I'm gonna test it now, and I'm gonna take it with me for the city ride testing. The Isotta smoke windshield. Let's check it out, and let's mount it on the bike. Take off the OM. First, loosen up the bolts. All right. All right. And this is how the bike looks without a windshield. Pretty funny. I saw some people in the city taking off completely this windscreen. They were quite annoyed by the huge windscreen which is left here. So but you still have these antennas. The scooter now looks like a bee with antennas wide open for you know, catching the radio waves. Anyway, this is how the bike looks without the windscreen. Let's put the smoked windscreen from Isotta and check it out. We have everything provided here. The job should be pretty simple. We have the rubber, the anti-vibration rubber dampers, some plastic holders. It's pretty the same straightforward procedure. Let's put it. First, we're gonna insert these rubbers in the holes of the windscreen. We have 4 of them. This should be the direction, with the bigger part on the back side, and on the front you should have this nice part, and over it will come a plastic protection. Check it out, this one, which you fit inside in order to place the bolt. So check it out, it's pretty simple. You don't need actually instructions for that. You just place this here, and then after you mount all four, we're gonna stick it to the bike. This is how it should look before we're gonna mount it on the bike. We have the four rubbers, vibration dampers, and we put the plastics to hold the bolts. Everything seems to fit perfect alignment. Check it out. Wow, I'm really anxious to put it on the bike. I'm really curious. And this time we're gonna use the same but number 4, the same key but number 4. Everything fits perfectly. We're gonna tighten it up step by step. I'm gonna tighten it up easily. Everything fits perfectly here. Perfect alignment. And this is the look. Check it out with the new screen from Isotta. I think it looks brilliant. Check it out. It's changed quite a lot. The bike's looks, and wow, you can see even better. I am now wondering how the wind will be distributed. We're gonna make this test, but the bike looks pretty nice. I like it with this new short windscreen from Isotta. Pretty nice. In the city traffic, making deliveries, this scooter, I say it's absolutely has a perfect power, has the perfect ratio between power, weight, handling, fuel consumption. So I would say, okay, you have plenty of options in terms of lightweight scooters, in terms of 125cc scooters from Honda. At least you have the SH150 mode, you have the Honda Forza 125, you have the PCX 125, and on top of those you have the SH150i. Between you're reaching the maxi scooters, starting with the Forza 350, ADV 350, the X Max from Yamaha, and so on. So you have some options when it comes to 125cc scooters. Suzuki has even the Burgman 125. You have the Address, Suzuki Address, Suzuki Burgman, Piaggio Beverly, Piaggio Mendeley. Plenty of options over there. Yamaha NMAX 125, Yamaha NMAX 150. So there are some options, but what really makes this scooter stand out, it's the package which you receive, starting from the electronics, starting from the frame, starting from the wheel size, and on top of that comes the ground clearance, which makes a big difference when you would like to overpass some usual obstacles from the city. So I had the option to choose 125i, but I said, man, it's such a small difference of money. It's about 300 euros from 125i to 150i, and you get almost 17 horsepower for this one and plenty of torque, and you're reaching quite some high speeds. You're almost reaching highway speeds, that's for sure. We're gonna make a speed test, maximum speed test, very soon, coming up after this review. I'm planning to make, because I've already tested I have 4,000 700 kilometers done, and I've already tested quite a lot this scooter in difficult conditions, on deliveries, on the highway, on outside the city, even on light off-roads, and I would like to share my feedback. I like that this scooter is very, very light. I mean, the frame, the chassis, everything has been updated and they make it very light. For example, the Forza 125, the chassis, it's the same as the one from 350. The bike, it's a little bit heavier, and when I compare it with my SH125 mode, which was indeed, it has about 100 kilos, this one has 137 kilos, but with a bigger rear wheel, bigger size, a little bit bigger on the front, wider, and yes, it's a perfect choice for the city. I mean, you actually don't need so much power. It's so much power on this bike, and with this power you can go easily and travel with it. I'm really thinking, and I was thinking that in many moments when I was riding outside the city or between the city commuting, I was riding even faster than with my Honda Transalp, because the comfort which you get with this scooter, especially with a bigger screen. Now we have the smaller screen from Isotta. We are starting our review with this screen, but we're gonna change it and compare it, because the windscreen provided by Isotta, the bigger one, it's even bigger than the standard one. The standard one, you already saw it in my at the beginning of the review. Now we are testing this Isotta windscreen, and I think this one, it's quite perfect for city riding, especially in the hot summer days when you need more ventilation. You need more ventilation during the summer, and as big as the screen is, it creates a different environment from the screen to your helmet. It protects completely from the wind, but it creates somehow you know, a heat barrier, and you don't get your helmet ventilated properly. But with this one, you get plenty of air inside the helmet, and this helps quite a lot. And the biggest plus of this one is the visibility. You are able to see perfectly in front, and you don't hit the screen with your helmet, because sometimes when you, especially with my adventure helmet, I hit the screen couple of times, the standard one. But with this one, you can actually move. You can move freely, and you are able to see perfectly. I think the visibility, it's a big plus. The standard screen or the bigger screens are getting dirty as soon as you ride them. As soon as you ride them in the rain, as soon as you ride them, they get a lot of bugs on them. They're getting dirty very fast, and you need to clean them very fast. You need to clean them very often. But with this one, check it out, it also provides some protection for the dashboard when the sun comes from the front side, not from backwards like it is now. But it also could provide protection for your GPS or for your phone, because I'm planning to mount a GPS mount here. I'm planning to install a GPS mount, and of course I'm gonna have my phone here, and my phone will be protected by this smoked windshield. Start and stop, it's also available for this scooter. I've already used it right now, but it provides a very low fuel efficiency plus, so to speak. So you can expect less with 0.1 liters per 100 kilometers, less fuel consumption. But I'm thinking that you stress too much the battery, the electronic, even I think the engine could not receive as much oil as it should at a restart of the bike, but I'm using it occasionally. Depends on how long is the LITE, how long does the LITE last. For example, regarding the fuel consumption, now we have 2.3. If you're riding in the city normally, not for deliveries, you can expect very low fuel consumption, starting from 2.1 until 2.3, 2.2 even, and this is quite nice. The dashboard offers a decent visibility. I will not say it's perfect, but you can see the speed, you can see your actual fuel consumption. You don't need so much information from the dashboard actually. It's very good that they put this battery voltage. Now it's 14.4 volts. 14.5, it's pretty good, so you can check the battery voltage when you are in a start and stop function and you stop the bike. It drops until minimum 12.6 volts. This is the minimum which I received on the dashboard. And what I like is the acceleration. I mean, you can go from the LITE, you can be the first one with no problems. You can win some small competitions if you like, and it's so refreshing to receive plenty of wind in the helmet. You have proper ventilation, and yeah, it's very comfortable. You don't get buffeting, you don't get any buffeting on your helmet, but you get definitely more air. More air is coming, especially I'm 180 meters. The air is coming from the shoulders up. This is the angle of the windshield directs the wind, deflects the wind in such a way that you can feel it from the shoulders up. I was riding a friend's SH300 from 2014, an old scooter. It was so heavy, I can even I think it had more than 180 kilos, something like that. And when I get back on mine, it felt absolutely weightless. It's very light, very maneuverable, and you can struggle pretty good. You have plenty of space, you have a very good wind protection from the start with the standard windscreen, and you can struggle very easy through the cars. Of course, this is I don't recommend it actually. Do it at your own risk. I need to speak about the brakes, which are absolutely amazing, and the way the ABS and traction control are working. For example, the front ABS intervenes when you're really braking. I mean, when you brake real hard, and it works quite good. I've tested it even on the rain. The traction control doesn't intervene so often. Actually, I think only one time I had this traction control displayed on the dashboard on a gravel road. But anyway, the traction control, the grip which you have with those tires, with the Michelin, with this Michelin City Grip tires, it's just impressive. You have an amazing braking power. Let's check it out here on the LITE. We have 70 kilometers per hour. Check it out. And we stopped in just seconds. It's that's why I spoke and I recommend on the beginning of the review. I've mentioned that I would never buy a scooter without these basics disc brakes, front and rear, ABS, front and rear, traction control, LED headlights, LED light signals, and so on. I think these are the basics nowadays, especially for someone who works every day with such scooters. I'm working almost every day making deliveries, and this scooter, it's part of my work, and I need a reliable scooter. I need a tool, a machine that helps me when I need it, or it's there when I need it. The price of the scooter, it's quite big. I don't think it's worth 4,850 euros. I think it's quite a lot, and you getting closer to other scooters from Piaggio, from Yamaha. I think the price is too high. A good price for this one will be about 4,000 maximum. The mirror positioning helps with the car filtering, even in some tight spaces. Check it out, it's just perfect. They are also under the mirrors, the van's mirrors. It's pretty good. So you see, now we have as we speak 2.2 fuel consumption after 17 kilometers. You can go down, you can go up accordingly to your riding style, but this scooter is very flexible. If you ride it normally in the city, respecting the speed limits and so on, you can have a pretty decent fuel consumption. And remember, this scooter has a 7-liter petrol tank, so you can have plenty of mileage. You can squeeze plenty of mileage out of this scooter. It's very silent. The sound of the exhaust, it's pretty pleasant. It's a little bit higher after the bike gets heated up, or you're riding for hours and hours. The sound gets more personality, has more personality, but now it's you barely can hear it. It's very pleasant, and it's a pleasant experience, especially if you're riding a lot of kilometers. My tip will be, if you have the chance to choose a 125 scooter, or you're thinking to buy a 125cc scooter, for a very small amount of extra money, you can have this 150i, SH150i scooter from Honda, which is offers really an amazing performance in the city, an amazing fuel consumption. You get more power. You get a standard screen, which is very high. Not this one. This one is from Isotta. You get a top case, a Honda top case included. You have ABS, traction control, digital display, full LED lights, 16-inch front and rear wheel. You see, you are faster than any car from the headlight. And you can reach speeds quite fast. I mean, when you're riding outside the city, you can cruise with 90 kilometers per hour with no problem. The scooter doesn't feel this speed. The scooter doesn't feel when you're riding outside with 90. Even with 100 kilometers per hour, you could have a decent cruising speed. I was riding on a highway with maximum speed, with maximum throttle, and the fuel consumption was about 3.94. This was 3.9 liters per 100 kilometers. But yeah, I think the perfect cruising speed could be on about 80-85 kilometers per hour you could get an amazing fuel consumption. Don't forget, in 99.9 cases you will be the first one from the headlight, no matter what. And this is helps you quite a lot gaining time, you know, especially in the big cities. And I think it's a matter of safety, I must say. When you leave the first one from the headlight, you don't have any cars in front of you, the road is clear, and somehow it's a plus. And another plus which I see, and it's very important, it's concerning the pollution from the city. Because if you're staying between the cars and you're not, let's say you're not the first one from the headlight, and you're staying through the cars, you get a lot of exhaust smoke in your face directly. But when you are the first one from the headlight, the exhaust smoke, it's on your back, and you can breathe actually better without so much smoke. We're getting a lot of electric and hybrid cars in the city lately. The air is becoming better and better, but we have these extremes when we have a lot of old machines, old auto vehicles with smoke. You can see the smoke very clear. It's unbelievable that they're still allowed to function in 2024. And we have these extremes, very new cars, Teslas and so on, electric cars, and old cars. When I'm passing this obstacle from the tram lines, it's also comfortable. You need to have a certain speed to have this comfort. I was mentioning that the scooter is not so comfortable in terms of seat, and it's true, especially if you're riding like me 12 hours, 10 hours per day. Yes, it becomes a real pain. If you're riding like commuting for 30 minutes, 1 hour, then it should be okay. But still we have a very small movement space back or forward to this seat. I will ask my friends from Oficina delle Toppe, which they made my seat from the Transalp, to try to make this for me. I would like to speak about the space for the legs. The scooter, it's a little bit shorter. It's definitely shorter than the SH mode. Somehow it feels shorter. You're feeling like you're riding when you're getting for the first time on this one, after the SH mode, after the Vision, after even let's say another scooter, you have the feeling that you're riding you know, an electric scooter. The handlebars are very low. The space between the legs, it's very small, very narrow and smaller. This is my feeling. I mean, it's definitely smaller than the one from the mode, but the scooter has a different frame, you know, a different configuration of the frame, of the fenders and everything. It's different, and I feel that this scooter will really need for the winter, because in terms of wind protection, rain protection, you don't have so much protection in the leg side, unless you are keeping your legs very tight one to another. You're not feeling too much relaxed. So yeah, if you're a taller person, if you're 190, 185, 187, then you could have some problems with the space, I must say. But I get used already. I'm getting used already with the space between the legs. Also, when I'm putting a bag here from the market, it's somehow at the limit, you know. Perhaps this space also has to do with the fact that the petrol tank position is here. So we have, you see, this shape for the petrol tank. This is the petrol tank position
between the leg and between the legs, and therefore this is why we have less space here. But I prefer to have the tank over there to lower my center of gravity and to have the fuel pump over there than to have more space and to have the fuel tank on my back. With this SH150i, you're positioning yourself between the 125cc and 350. I think the next step, this 350cc or 300 from the maxi scooter, it's too much for city riding or for keeping this package, you know, this package which is made out of the fuel consumption, power, torque, electronics, and the weight of the bike. You know, everything as a package. This SH150i, it's more than you need ever, I think, for the city riding. Some might say that yes, also 125 will be good. Yes, indeed, but you always feel the need for more power. I feel the need also for the SH mode. You always feel the need for more power, maybe a bigger wheel, but this one seems to have everything. You know, it's a different category. You're getting yourself very close to the maxi scooter with this one. You can reach very high speeds. I can tell you speeds over 120 kilometers per hour, and with this kind of speeds you are able to go anywhere. And for the city you can make room with absolutely no problem. That's why if you have the chance, give extra cash to have this 150. You don't need 350, 300cc for city riding. I think that you need when you're traveling more, or you would like really to travel outside the city for a longer time. You can overpass trucks with this one. You need to calculate a little bit the takeover, but you can do it. I could not do that with the 125 mode. I could not overpass a truck in outside the city, but with this one yes, you can. With a good calculation you can easily do it. Now it's time to put on the bigger screen from Isotta. I look forward to see how it looks. From the beginning, when I saw it, it was really huge. You see, with this one you can change the line in safety, much safer, because you can accelerate, you can move it faster, you can do anything you like much faster, and therefore you prevent you know, the cars from coming from behind. I've noticed that the drivers in front of me, they see me. The bike seems to be quite visible by the drivers in front of you, and this gives me a nice feeling. Okay, it matters indeed the positioning towards the car. It's very important to be seen by the car in front of you. And I like the way it takes the turns. You can really lean with this bike. I'm planning to change the suspension in the next days. I will make a separate video about it. the rear suspension, I'm speaking about the rear suspension. I found a performance rear suspension for the rear with gas, and hopefully it will bring much more comfort or better comfort for my rides. The most comfortable scooter, did you know that it was the Honda Vision 110? The way that scooter took over the potholes, the trim lines, everything, and I could ride it for hundreds, thousands of kilometers without feeling the pain. The seat was very good, was very straight, you could move back and forward. So the Honda Vision 110 was one of the most comfortable scooters I was riding it, and it costed me half of this scooter. And this one, which cost 4,850, has this basic seat, which is very uncomfortable, a very stiff rear suspension, which I'm gonna change. The rest I like it. The grip you get with these tires is just impressive. You feel so confident when braking, when accelerating, when twisting. It's a very good grip. The tires, these Michelin tires, are definitely a big plus. Michelin City Grip, a big plus for this scooter. The previous ones, they were just awful. It will be a great pleasure to travel with this scooter. I'm planning some rides outside the city, some traveling with this scooter, because it's so pleasant to ride with. And I'm willing to put now, I would like to put now the bigger screen from Isotta. I'm really curious to see what it brings as a plus from the standard windscreen. Check out this enormous screen from Isotta. We're gonna compare it with this one. Let's check it out. We have 4 rubber parts, extra parts, which you need to put them here to protect even better. And these are some spacers. Actually, we have this rubber part, and on top we have these spacers which are coming on top of them to somehow make space for the windshield. You will see at the end of the assembly. And this is what I'm talking about, these spacers which are coming here to make more space and to align itself. Check it out. We're gonna tie them up now, gently. Let's see how close they will be to the mirrors. Alright, there is plenty of space here for the mirrors. You can adjust them afterwards. Alright, perfect. What I like is, check out the shape. It's very nice that they don't interfere here with these deflectors. I cannot believe it, man. I'm speaking with my open visor with this gigantic windshield from Isotta. Man, I'm gonna keep this one. I first wanted to keep the short one for city riding, but this one, it's I mean, you don't feel that you're having a windscreen in front of you. It's so transparent, and because it doesn't have this margins, the silicone margins over here, it's a big plus, and you have 360 visibility. Check it out. I can see even the front wheel through it. I can see the front fender. Actually, man, it's I wasn't expecting that. And I'm coming here on the ring to check out the wind protection. I will keep my visor open just for you to make an idea about the level of wind protection. And we can increase the speed over here. Yeah, wow. Yes, man, it's total comfort. I mean, I would never change it, at least for a few thousand kilometers. Yes, it's this one I wasn't expecting. I was asking for the short one, to be honest, from Isotta. Let's check out at a higher speed. I'm continuously keeping my visor up, just for you to make an idea. This is an amazing wind protection. I have almost 100 kilometers per hour and I'm speaking with my visor open. Now I will close it. This is the difference. I'm closing the visor, I'm opening the visor, and check out the level of wind protection. It's way much better than the standard one, which comes with a silicone line. I don't know why they chosen that. I mean, it's better protective. It keeps you from getting hurt or something, or it protects even the screen from breaking. But indeed, the shape of the screen is just impressive. Check it out. It's over my helmet. It deflects the wind completely over my helmet, and not only that, it's wider. It's much wider. It's coming up until the half of the mirrors. And I'm keeping my visor up, and I have an amazing wind level protection. Wow. Yes, this is it. This is the perfect windscreen so far. This I'm gonna keep on my bike for thousands of kilometers. I'm gonna keep also the smaller one because it looks great. And if I'm planning only city riding, then I'm gonna keep it. But I need a mixture of city riding and outside the city for my deliveries. The deliveries are taking me even 25, 30, 35 kilometers outside the city, and I need a good protection. I'm using highway speeds also to go to my customers, even for the photo shootings. And yes, indeed, it gives you such a comfort, man. Let's check it out. I'm looking forward to test it at higher speeds, and it's very interesting what kind of buffeting will I get at higher speeds. The buffeting also coming from the other cars or from the trucks. We have a truck in front of us. I'm looking forward to see the level of buffeting. Expect more buffeting with a higher windshield, but the benefits are enormous. I'm behind the truck. I having 90 kilometers per hour, and I can deal with the buffeting so far. Let's see now, two trucks. Wow. This I can say, it's wow. Amazing wind protection, amazing. I mean, I was really impressed by the standard one, but man, let's increase the speed. We have 102. Let's give it a more speed. We're not making a maximum speed test by any means, but check it out, man. I have 110 kilometers per hour. My visor is up, and I can speak with you. I have no wind coming, or at least I have a very small amount of wind coming to my helmet. It's an amazing wind protection, and I'm really impressed about the visibility, man. I mean, the visibility, you can check it out for yourself, and the screen is not even perfectly cleaned. It stayed in the dust outside before mounting. It's not perfectly cleaned, but yes, this I can say. Whew, I'm impressed, man. I'm not just saying this is the reality. Test it for yourself. Give it a try, because you will thank me later. And yes, I'm gonna keep this one, that's for sure. Wow. Yes, this is what I've actually needed. A bigger screen, but a perfect visibility. So again, amazing wind protection, perfect visibility, perfect wind deflection, no buffeting. Wow. 110, 111, and still we have this. Indeed, it blocks a little bit the, you know, the power at high speeds. I mean, you cannot reach a certain speeds, I think, with this one. That's for sure. Perhaps you're gonna increase a little bit the fuel consumption, who knows. I need to test it, but indeed it's it stops the wind in a perfect manner. Let's see now with what sacrifices in terms of fuel consumption. This is the only downside of it. You could have an increased fuel consumption if you're riding, let's say, at higher speeds with this one, and you cannot overpass a certain speed limit with this screen, because it blocks a lot of wind and it opposes a lot of wind resistance, and it's natural, it's physics. But man, such a comfortable ride with my visor up and this enormous windshield. You could ride thousands and thousands of kilometers with this one, with this Isotta higher windscreen. And imagine that this one fits also previous versions. And yes, there's not so many things to be said. This one, it's just perfect. I don't need to test it anymore. It will stay on my scooter for a long time from now on. Could be that I'm changing it from time to time, but not in the near future. Not in the near future, because this one is just impressive. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. You can cruise up with 100 kilometers per hour and have the feeling that you're staying in place. This is the feeling. You don't feel any wind, man, any wind. You feel something a little bit on your shoulders, but just like the wind, it's saying hi to you just slightly on the shoulders, but nothing else, nothing else. It's absolutely perfect wind protection. I'm so happy. And I have to confess, I didn't know what to expect from the windshields. Yes, all you need to do is to move your mirrors towards you for a bit, then adjust them, because you have space here. And another thing which I like, I have plenty of space in the area where the phone is, plenty of space where an eventual GPS mount will be. So perfect thinking about Isotta to leave this curve here, because the screen is curved in this area. It gives perfect room for a GPS mount, plus the GPS or your phone could be mounted here on the middle. Speaking about gravel roads, it's nice to test this scooter on this type of roads. It's yeah, it's decent. You can do it, especially with better tires. And somehow takes quite okay this gravel. You have the option to take out the traction control if you like to have more fun. This is the option which you can make it. But otherwise, yeah, there are better scooters, proper scooters for this type of road. Isotta windshield, this time the bigger one was over my expectations. I'm gonna keep it, and I'm pretty sure that it will make a huge difference in terms of comfort, riding comfort in the rain, in the wind, outside the city, on the highway. And it's perfectly designed so far, so I'm really impressed about it. But let's speak about this screen in detail.
And let's see, we have two screens from Isotta, the smaller one, a smoked version, and this bigger one. Let's speak about the pros and the cons of each of them, and it's up to you, it's your decision. Whatever your riding needs are, you will be able to choose the perfect screen for you. First of all, let's start with the bigger one, the bigger screen from Isotta. The surprise is that you can barely see it because it provides such a good visibility. I'm gonna start and make let's say we speak about first about the positives, and at the end we speak about the things which need to be improved somehow for the shield. And after that, we're gonna compare it with a smaller version of the Isotta screen, with a smoked smaller version which we first installed on the bike and we started our review with. But now let's go to this one. Wow, the installing was very easy. I mean, 4 bolts, and they have a plus in terms of these spacers, which are keeping the screen a little bit far away from your helmet, from your riding position. It provides quite a good distance, and let's say a safety distance from the screen to the visor. The standard screen, it was a little bit too close from my helmet and from my riding position. And yes, these spacers are making a huge difference. Congratulations Isotta for using them. It's they really make a difference. And let's check out the style. It's very nice. I mean, it's very classy looking, looks very classic but premium in the same time. We have a little bit of design here with Isotta, an Isotta sticker provided, and made in Italy, original product. For the German users, for the German riders, there is also a certificate, and you are able to use this certificate on public roads, because in Germany there are specific laws, and any modification that you bring to the motorcycle, it's you know, it's regulated, needs to be regulated. And of course Isotta provides this certificate for the German riders. So the positives, we started with the spacers, then the design. I think it's very nice, and the shape of the screen that starts from the existing OEM deflectors, and you see it's a very small space here, and continues it continues very nicely upwards. The shape, it's perfectly cutted here on the headlight, and it's a little bit wider on the side, especially in this side, and completes somehow the wind deflection which we have already installed. Another thing which I like is the height of the screen. The height, it's about 10 centimeters more than the OEM. It's over, the wind goes over the helmet, as you saw already in my review. So the wind goes over the helmet, much more over the helmet. It provides, I would say, almost 100% wind protection, no doubt about it. And it adds a little bit of design on top. And in terms of buffeting, this one, it's reduced to 0 almost with this one from Isotta, with the windshield from Isotta. With the OEM windshield, you get a lot of buffeting, especially from the trucks, from the big trucks, when you overpass them. But as you saw already, with my visor open, I was able to reduce significantly the buffeting with this screen. Also, the thickness, you can notice it's quite thick. When you look through it, the screen almost feels like it doesn't exist. It looks to be much thinner, but it is not. The visibility which it provides, it's almost perfect. And another plus comparable with the OEM, it doesn't have the silicone on the margins, on the sides. We don't have any silicone that will eventually block our view. And yes, this is a plus. This is the plus, and the finishing, it's perfectly here. It's not cutting. The edges are perfectly round, and you don't risk to cut yourself in this windshield. Perfectly finishing from Isotta. Really nice, a nice design, and a very good and powerful mounting points here with this rubber dampers and with the spacers. Very good, very simple. It fitted perfectly, and yes indeed, yes indeed. Let's move to the things which I think it could have been better in terms of the positioning of the mirrors, but this could be easily adjusted. So now, as you can see, I need to readjust my mirrors and to place them a little bit towards me in order to have plenty of space here between the windshield and the mirrors. So you need to readjust your mirrors, you need to readjust the positioning of your mirrors. Better before mounting, you leave them loose, you mount the windshield, and then you adjust the mirrors after you mount the windshield. This is better, so you have a perfect alignment of the mirrors. Anyway, my mirrors were aligned accordingly to my previous windshields, but this one is coming a little bit closer, so you need to I need to move the mirrors a little bit towards me. But this is it. This is the only con I could found so far. Let's move to the smaller version of the Isotta windshield, the smoked one, which has quite a lot of positives. Let's start first with the visibility which it provides. The shape and the design of the windscreen, it's just perfect. It provides perfect visibility, nothing to worry about. Also, it protects, and it somehow protects better when the sun is coming up from the front. It protects the dashboard and an eventual GPS mount with the GPS or your phone mounted. They will be protected from the sun much better with this smoked windshield. The shape of it, the way it's designed, doesn't intervene with any other accessories, with the mirrors, with the other OM deflectors. It fits perfectly on the bike. And I really like the design. It makes the bike a little bit more sportive, more aggressive, and you receive a lot of ventilation during the hot summer days. It provides quite a lot of ventilation, much more than you normally get with the OM or with the higher screen from Isotta. So when the days are, when the temperatures are overpassing 35, even 40 Celsius, it's a blessing to be able to receive such a high flow, high wind coming up with this lower windshield. This is refreshing, so to speak. And yeah, these are the positives. And also the build quality is very good. It's very thick. It's very well made, very well finished. It's very easy to install. It has perfect installation instructions. It also has, for Germany, it has a certification to be able to ride it there. In terms of cons, the biggest cons, of course, is the wind which you get. You get a lot of wind. You don't get buffeting, but you get wind quite a lot. It's very difficult to ride it for a lot of kilometers outside the city with speeds over 85, 90 kilometers per hour. But indeed, this windshield is designed to ride it more in the city with legal speeds, 50, 60, maximum 70 kilometers per hour. And over there it does perfectly its job. So I will keep the smaller windshield for the times I'm planning only city riding. And of course the bigger one, it's now my favorite, which I'm gonna keep as a mixture of city riding and outside the city riding. Special thanks to Isotta for providing me this amazing windshields for my SH150i. I'm keeping the bigger one for the moment, but also I'm keeping the smaller one for more city rides. Until next time, bye bye.